Howdy friend, welcome to another round of Collection Connection, the game where I talk about two seemingly unrelated records and challenge you to suss out the common ground that they share. I play this game with my brother, Plastic Eric. His half of the videos are on his very own gosh darn channel, the Plastic Soundwave Cult. He presents an album from his record collection every Monday, and I discuss one from my collection every Thursday. And while the guessing game aspect is an important part of the show, you can also skip that and just talk to us about the bands, because this whole enterprise is ultimately but an excuse to indulge in our love of music and talk about records. Today I'll be forging a connection between the Ground Zero Seattle sound rocker, Alice in Chains' second album, Dirt, from 1992, and the alt-country flavored indie pop featured on The Voyager, the 2014 solo album from Rilo Kiley alumnus Jenny Lewis. That'll be coming up in a minute, but first we need to reveal the connection between the prior pair of albums, those being Dirt and Very from the Pet Shop Boys. Now, just saying that out loud, I realize that they both have four-letter, very short titles, and seeing them, I see that they are both very orange covers, but neither of those were the connection that we were looking for. What we were going for is that each album has a song that is the name, shares a name with a reasonably well-known band. Alice in Chains has Godsmack, which, contrary to popular opinion, the lead singer of Godsmack says that it was not inspired by the Alice in Chains song. It was sort of a term for karma. And Very features the song Go West, which is a band from the 80s and beyond, but I only really knew them in the 80s and I didn't even like them then. But neither band took direct inspiration, according to them, from the songs that were on the albums, but nonetheless they share a name with those songs. So that's what we were going for. Did you guess it? I have no idea. I'm recording this video well in advance of the publication of Eric's video, so I won't be able to do a shout out here, but I hope you got it. And with that, let's get on with the show. Alright, so as I just alluded to, I am making this video less than 24 hours after making the previous video. So I didn't have a ton of time to do a ton of research here. Once I turned my attention to Eric's choice, Alice in Chains' Dirt album. Not an album that I have. I don't have any of those Seattle bands at all in my collection. So listening to it, I gave it one sort of perfunctory listen. I recognized Rooster, and I feel like I maybe recognized Them Bones. Is that the name of the opening track? And didn't Stone Temple Pilots have some song about a rooster too? Is there something roostery going on in the 1990s that I'm unfamiliar with? Probably a term for something that I'm just ignorant of, but yeah. It was kind of what I would have expected, going from Rooster, off of Rooster, which I did know, and still would never be anything that I would purchase or sort of voluntarily listen to, but it wasn't terrible to listen to either. The songs just didn't necessarily strike my ear, but I may have gone into it with a closed mind and not a lot of time, so it is what it is. If you love it, good on you. I'm certainly not trying to talk anyone out of it, but grunge was never my scene, and I don't like Star Wars. Sorry, I don't know what that was, just a little Queen in-joke there for you. So moving right along to the connection, I guess, since I don't have a lot to say about Alice in Chains, I connected it to the 2014 album The Voyager from Jenny Lewis. I have one other Jenny Lewis album, her sort of first solo record, which was actually billed under Jenny Lewis and the Watson Twins, and I remember we bought that in a record store in Austin, kind of looking for something Austin flavored to buy when we were visiting that city briefly for a day way back when in the 2000s. I didn't realize at the time that Jenny Lewis was from Rilo Kiley, which is a band that I'm aware of the name, but not the tunes. They are a band that I am interested in. I think now I have become interested in. So I would like to maybe go back and explore some of the Rilo Kiley catalog. But we got Rabbit Fur Coat, which was that album by Jenny Lewis and the Watson Twins, back around the time when it came out, and then went a very long time with just that one album. Even though this came out in 2014, it wasn't until the last 2 or 3 years, I think, after post 2020, that I picked it up. I like the singles She's Not Me and Just One of the Guys. I think they're both winning songs. The presentation of the music isn't like super country, and yet she has a country inflected voice. She's a California girl, is my understanding. And I don't think Rilo Kiley was necessarily a country band, but she has that sort of clear bell, unadorned singing voice that has a country feel to it somehow. It's reminiscent of singers from the alt-country Nico Case, or who started in the alt-country and kind of like Jenny Lewis, I think moved on to more pop pastures, more pop rock pastures, back through like Barbara Mandrell, Loretta Lynn, even Dusty Springfield. Sort of potential belters, but it's just a very clear tone. It's not a whole lot of wavery going on in the voice, and that kind of delivery lends itself to the sort of plain spoken lyrics that Jenny Lewis likes to sing. A lot of relationship in trouble type songs. Ben Folds to me is the sort of standard bearer for this sort of raw nerve lyric, where he comes at poor relationships in very specific ways in different songs. And so even though there's a lot of sort of bad relationship songs, they all feel a little bit different because of that specificity. The Jenny Lewis, this album, has a lot of the same. Now, I haven't heard really anything since then. I know she's put out a couple albums since, and it was maybe one of the more recent ones, hearing a track from it that I don't even remember now, that made me think, you know what I did like? I did like Just One of the Guys and She's Not Me. That one has a nice kind of relaxed, almost a strut groove to it. Both terrific tracks. Listening to the album You Can't Outrun 'Em is another good one. And you can feel that little bit of country flavor on it. But overall, songs don't strike me as very country. I guess Katie Lang would be another one, who's just got a great singing voice. And like Nico Case, Katie Lang kind of moved on into the future and went kind of more pure pop that was inflected with a little bit of country, but was not overtly country. I guess Taylor Swift would be another one. So it feels like she's kind of moved on from country pastures, but I say that in ignorance because I don't even know exactly what sound Rilo Kiley produced. I'm tying it more back to the Watson Twins album, Rabbit Fur Coat, which had a little bit more of that sort of country flavor, alt-country flavor to it back in the 2000s. It's a good record. I enjoy pulling it out. Even the lesser tracks that don't necessarily stick in my head at this point seem enjoyable to listen to. So I will throw The Voyager from Jenny Lewis over to Eric, and he will find a connection and make a video about it and publish it on Monday. If you have a guess as to what the connection might be between Alice in Chains' Dirt and Jenny Lewis's The Voyager, put it down in the comments. I'll give you a hint. It's a very Discogs kind of connection. There is a piece of information that is available on their Discogs listing that is true for both records. So find that. You got yourself a connection. Leave that down in the comments, or just tell me what you think about Rilo Kiley, maybe, if you're familiar with them in a way that I'm not. And try and sway me on Alice in Chains. Anything you want to do, talk music, down in the comments. And we'll be looking forward to it. And with that, that's all I got. So I thank you for watching. Bye-bye.